Hello students, I Kailash Kumar sir welcome you all on the online edu classes of Brilliant Public School. In this video we are going to begin Unit 1 Section 2. The topic is A Most Important Person written by Margaret Weymouth Jackson, and this is the first part of our video. So let's proceed ahead. Let us first see about the author. The author of this chapter, a most important person, is Margaret Weymouth Jackson. She was an American writer. She was born in February 11, 1895, in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, United States, and she died at the age of 79 on 5th April 1974. She wrote stories for various national magazines. Her prolific career spans 6 novels and about 200 stories. Some of the most important writings of Margaret Weymouth Jackson are The First Riddle and Elizabeth's Tower. So, this was a short introduction. Now, let us move ahead towards the story. The important characters in this story are first Miss Lucy Quinn. She is one of the main character who was rich, but unfortunately she was lonely. Next is Chester Chilton, the most important person, nicknamed as Chuck. Means this is that most important person about whom the story has been written. Mary, she is Chester's baby sister. Mitzi, she is a caretaker, or we can say a maid servant in Miss Lucy Quinn's house. Next is Arthur. He is the chauffeur or the car driver of Miss Lucy Quinn. Next we have Thomas Hennessy. He is the judge in the court. Next we have Deborah. She is wife of Judge Hennessy. Next Mr. Henderson, the family lawyer. And last but not the least, we have Professor Tilden. He is a university professor. Students, let us see the introduction of the chapter, A Most Important Person. Usually, we bond with people who are like us. Now and then, however, friendship blossoms between two persons who seem to have nothing in common, like Chester and Miss Lucy Quinn in the story that follows. Summary of a most important person. This story comprises of the protagonist, Miss Lucy. Students, protagonist means the lead character or the main character in any story. So here the main protagonist or the main major character is Miss Lucy Quinn. She and her sister Agatha had a misconception that it is futile to rely on the world and they can be all alone for lifetime. Let me say some more information about Miss Lucy Quinn, that she was different from almost everyone else in her society because she had no family. Parents died, siblings moved away, and she did not marry. She had no social life, although she was rich and influential. However, her life saw a great change after meeting Chester, a small boy. But this idea became false after Miss Lucy met Chester. She came to know the significance of being with people, being lovable, and helping each other. She understands the importance of celebrating Christmas only after having friendship with Chester. Christmas is a festival to be celebrated with family and friends, sharing love and happiness. So, Miss Lucy Quinn came to know about the value of meeting with people, being lovable and helping each other only when she met this boy Chester. Thus, Miss Lucy realizes her loneliness all this life and how to be lovable and happy after meeting a most important person, that is Chester. Now, let us move ahead, students. Now, this is the beginning of our story, a most important person. The liveried chauffeur opened the car door. Miss Lucy Quinn stepped out and the chauffeur looked after her. It's the Christmas, he told himself. It makes her lonely. Liveried means wearing a special uniform. As we can see in this image, the car driver or the chauffeur is wearing a special uniform. He opened the car door from where stepped out Miss Lucy Quinn. The chauffeur told to himself that it's the Christmas time, but Miss Lucy Quinn is lonely, so she can't spend her time in the Christmas with anyone. It was the Christmas trimmings that daunted Miss Lucy. Trimmings means decorations, and daunted means frightened. So, as it was the time of Christmas celebrations, so there were decorations in that street, in that place, but it was a frightening situation for Miss Lucy because there was no one with whom Lucy can spend time in this entire festival days. Every house on the boulevard showed the splendor of a glittering Christmas, but Miss Lucy Quinn was lonely. Boulevard means, as you can see in this image, there is a statue like structure made with colorful lights, that is known as boulevard. So, every house on that boulevard street showed the splendor. Splendor means magnificent and splendid appearance, appearance with beauty of a glittering Christmas, but Miss Lucy Quinn was lonely. As we have seen about Miss Lucy, that she was lonely. So, the rest of the year she endured her loneliness with composure, but at Christmas it came upon her like an illness. Endured means suffered or lived with pain or difficulty. So, the whole year she lived or she suffered with difficulty and pain. With composure, composure means self control of being calm. So here Miss Lucy is trying to control herself and to make her stay calm. But at Christmas it came upon her like an illness. But on every Christmas it used to come like an illness. She couldn't control herself, but anyhow she is alone, so she has to do so. We had a happy childhood, Miss Quinn told herself. Our parents were always good and kind to us. Now she is telling about herself that they also had a very happy childhood where her parents were always good and kind towards them. But Miss Lucy and her sister Agatha had been brought up on the fixed idea that there was only a small group of people in the city with whom they might associate. Miss Lucy's parents, loving though they were, had died. Miss Lucy's sister Agatha and her husband had died too. So, children, here we can see that there is a particular type of uh, thinking mentality that their parents have instilled in Miss Lucy and her sister Agatha, that uh, they had such type of mentality that very small group of people in that particular society are only fit with whom they can have friendship or with whom they can make relationships. So that's why they were not allowed to mingle with other people in the society. The extreme or the worst part of the story is that Miss Lucy's parents were no more now. They had already died, and Lucy's sister Agatha and her husband had also died. All their friends had either died or lost touch with her until there was no one left. The society of the town moved briskly. Briskly means in an active, quick, or energetic way. So the society of the town moved briskly on without her, bristling with strange names. Bristling means full of strange names. She had always been timid and protected, and now there was no one at all who cared. So, as with time everyone moves, the same condition happened with the society. They also moved, but Miss Lucy, she was still there in the same thinking mentality, and she was alone all the year. On Christmas Eve, she was walking down to her home, wishing for an event that might hurl her. Hurl means throw or impel someone or something with great force, or something that can drive her away from that loneliness, hurl her out of the world, when suddenly a violent fight sprang up. Miss Lucy trembled. She looked at the two big boys beating a small one, and though he fought like a young wildcat, he was being overcome. So, this was the incident which Miss Lucy Quinn saw when she was moving in that street. She looked at two big boys were beating a small boy, and on return, the small boy was also very courageous, very brave. He was also fighting like a young wildcat. Miss Lucy looked around. No one was near. She feared that the little boy might be killed. Briskly, she raised her umbrella and brought it down on the older boys. The bigger boys howled and departed, and the small boy stood and looked at Miss Lucy. So, here Miss Lucy played a very important role in stopping that quarrel or that fight, and finally, the fight between these two big boys and the small boy was it came to an end. Hence, Miss Lucy protected the boy, and this was the first time when Miss Lucy and the young boy met each other. Now, let us move ahead in the story. Miss Lucy was very upset. She had never struck another human being in her life. She pulled herself together and resumed her walk. The small boy reached up and put his hand inside of hers hand. Miss Lucy looked down at him but went on walking. Children, as we know that Miss Lucy never made any kind of friendship with anyone, but this was the first time that it happened with her. As you can see that after meeting, although they did not start talking to each other, but anyhow they started walking with holding hands of each other, as you can see in this image. The small boy reached up and put his hand inside her hand, okay, and they started walking by holding the hand. At the corner, the small boy said, "You saved me. I know how you feel." He went on eagerly. "I saved a cat once. I was awfully fond of it afterwards," he explained. Now this young boy is trying to thank Miss Lucy Quinn for saving him from the old boys. He is also sharing his experience that how he felt when he saved a cat once, because after saving that cat he was attracted too much towards the cat and he loved it That's why he is expressing his views that maybe as Miss Lucy Quinn has saved him, so she might also get attracted towards him for making friendship. Now let us move in the story. Those boys, he went on, steal Christmas presents left on porches. I know the little girl who lives in that house, and I have been on guard all day to take care of her presents. Now, this young boy Chester is telling that those boys they actually steal the Christmas presents which are kept on the porches of the houses, and actually these gifts or these presents belong to that little girl who lives in the house. So I was guarding that gift, that presents all the time. She looked down at him again and found the small boy face turned up to hers. His eyes very blue, face round. He looked a healthy child. Suddenly his speech was clear enough. Now Miss Lucy Quinn looked towards the boy, and here we can see the physical description about his looks, about his face. Everything is mentioned here. Little boys should not fight on the street, said Miss Lucy shyly. I know it is better to get into an alley or somewhere where the cops or teachers won't stop you. Alley means it's a kind of narrow passage between buildings where you can hide yourself and you can easily fight, so that no any elder people or any cops or any teacher can see you fighting. Hence the young boy Chester is telling that if they will hide in that alley, kind of narrow passage, then they won't be able to monitored by other people and they can easily fight. Let us move ahead. They had come to her door. Miss Lucy was amazed. The walk had never seemed so short. She stopped and explained, This is my house. I'll come in and visit you a while, he offered. I don't have to be home until dark. So here, by walking, finally they reached to Miss Lucy Quinn's home, and when they reached there, Miss Lucy Quinn told to the young boy that this is my house. So the young boy he offered to himself that I will come in and visit you a while. Okay, Miss Lucy Quinn didn't offer him to come inside and take rest, have some water, and after having some eatables, he can leave. But no, here the young boy he himself offered that he will come inside and visit Miss Lucy Quinn a while. I don't have to be home until dark. And he also tells Miss Lucy Quinn that he don't have to be home until dark. Means when it will be dark, then at that time only he will move to his home. Would you like to come in and have tea with me? I will, he said as they went in. So Miss Lucy Quinn offered for a tea and he accepted that offer. There will be two of us for tea, Mitzi, Miss Lucy said. She led him into the little parlor. Parlor is a kind of room meant for receiving guests. So here Miss Lucy Quinn orders Mitzi, the caretaker, that there will be 2 cups of tea for the young boy and Miss Lucy herself. So by saying this, Miss Lucy takes the young boy Chester to the little parlor in their house. Where is your Christmas tree? He asked, looking around. I haven't got it up yet, said Miss Lucy. Now, looking here and there in the entire house, the young boy is asking Miss Lucy about the Christmas tree. Miss Lucy replied, I haven't got it up yet, or she has not purchased that Christmas tree yet. I know you are keeping it back for a surprise for someone. May I come to see it tomorrow? He said with a vivid smile. Now, with a broad smile, the young boy said to Miss Lucy that I know you have purchased that tree, but you have kept it somewhere because it may be or it might be a special for someone whom she liked or whom she wanted to show that tree. So he's also telling that may I come to see the Christmas tree tomorrow? Yes, said Miss Lucy. I will have the tree up tomorrow. I will come early, he assured her, and I will bet that you will have the best tree of all. Now, here, as the conversation between these two people moves ahead, uh, the young boy tells Miss Lucy that definitely I will come early tomorrow, and I know, and I know that you will purchase the best Christmas tree of all. Means their Christmas tree will be the best of all. Mitzi placed the tea tray on the table. Miss Lucy filled it with chocolate and gave it to her guest. So here the young boy receives chocolates from Miss Lucy. The mother says, he began. Miss Lucy felt a vague disappointment. She didn't know why. Oh, you have a mother, she said. So there was some unclear disappointment. Vague means unclear, indefinite, or uncertain. So when she heard about uh, his mother, there was some unclear expression which she didn't know why it happened. So she inquired more about the young boy. The small boy looked astonished. Sure, he told her, I have a mother and a father and two brothers and two sisters besides the baby. Her name is Mary, he admitted. Now she is causing a lot of trouble because she is determined to eat things off the Christmas tree. So the young boy is telling about his family, that who all are there in the family. Let us move ahead. You must not think we don't like her. I am just telling you about her. If you would like to see her, I could bring her over to see you. So the young boy is describing about his little sister, that how naughty she is, that if she sees a Christmas tree, then she will move towards the Christmas tree to eat the things which are there in the Christmas tree. So he's also asking Miss Lucy that if you wish to see her, then I will bring my sister too the next day to see the Christmas tree. Let us move to the next slide. I will be looking for you, she said. It is getting almost dark. You must not worry your mother. You haven't told me yet what your name is or where you live. My name is Chester Chilton, he said. I live on Basalt 1028. So this was the address of Chester Chilton, and he lived on the Basalt Street 1028. Miss Lucy knew Basalt Street. It was a crowded street near Boulevard. I am coming in the morning, he reminded her, to see your Christmas tree. So before departing from that place, he also reminded Miss Lucy that tomorrow morning I will be here to see the Christmas tree. Miss Lucy closed the door and rang the bell again. In a moment, the shopper stood in the door. Arthur, she said, I want to go out and buy a Christmas tree. So, the moment the young boy left for his home, then the same moment Miss Lucy asked Arthur to take her to the market to buy the Christmas tree. So, this was all about the first video, students. I hope this much is clear to all the students, and if suppose something is missing, then kindly do re-watch the video and read the textbook as well. So thank you all. Have a beautiful day.